A pleasure.
Let's...
The order was sent?
This morning. Inquisitor.
Have you had any trouble with them?
Not at all. I will inform you if that changes.
All right.
Let us begin.
My dear, did you need me for something?
Of course.
What are your thoughts about the other...
I don't know what to make of Solus. I find that peculiar.
Marvelous business, the Winter Palace. You saved an empress, and now she's eating out of your... All this dancing, politics, and murder... makes me a bit homesick.
Happy to oblige. A taste of home, just...
Not just for me.
Perhaps I should have invited...
We were there. I hope you tried the ham they were serving, by the way. Tasted of despair. It's fascinating.
Dorian, there's a letter you need.
A letter? Is it a naughty letter?
Not quite. It's from your father.
From my father. I see. And what does Magister Hall...
A meeting.
Show me this letter.
I know my son? What my father knows of me would barely fill a thimble. I'm willing to bet this retainer is a henchman, hired to knock me on the head and drag me back to Tevinter.
This could be the Venatori. Lure us somewhere.
Perhaps. Although this does look like my father's penmanship.
Or Could he have joined the Venatori? No. Let's go. Let's meet this so-called family retainer. If it's a trap, we escape and kill everyone. You're good at that. If it's not, I send the man back to my father with a message that he can stick his alarm in his wit's end.
Let's go meet this retainer.
I wonder how much my father paid this man to wait around just in case...
Inquisitor. The explosion at Haven. In your report, you said... Why? Why were you the only survivor?
She knew it was either her or me.
Of course. Of course she did. Her message to me. I failed you too. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Did you say anything else? Anything at all? Please, if you remember.
Wait. You don't...
There are no answers in the fate. Justinia has never failed me. I was her left hand. I failed.
Let's take a look.
Even before the Scarlet Fellow, this was a land of spirits and demons. Magic grows wild in the hills of Redcliffe.
We'll be joining up soon, Your Worship. Thank you for all you've done.
Uh-oh, nobody's here. This doesn't bode well.
Dorian.
Father. So the whole story about the family retainer was just...
Then you were told. I apologize for the deception, Inquisitor. I never intended for you to be involved.
Of course not. Magister Parvus couldn't come to Skyhold and be seen with the dread Inquisitor. What is this exactly, Father? Ambush? Kidnapping? Warm family reunion?
This is how it has always been.
I should leave you to work this out.
Oh, no, you don't. I want a witness.
Dorian...
I prefer the company of men. My father disapproves.
Your father might be here to reach out.
Let's just go.
Dorian, please. If you'll only...
Why? So you can spout more convenient lies? He taught me to hate blood magic. The resort of the weak mind. Those are his words. But what was the first thing you did when your precious heir refused to play pretend for the... You tried to... change...
I only wanted what...
You wanted the best for you! For your fucking legacy. Anything for that.
I hope we're done here.
We are.
He's a good man, my father. Deep down. He taught me... He cares for me in his way, but he won't ever change. I can't forgive him for what he did. I won't.
Are you all right?
No, not really. Thank you for bringing me out there. Even if it didn't work. Maker knows what you must think of me now, after that whole display.
I don't know, it's certainly a spectacle.
Oh? I'm so pleased to provide you amusement.
There has to be a reason I keep you around.
Just the one. At any rate, time to drink myself into a stupor. Join me sometime. Questions.
Nothing to report, sir.
Your worship.
Who's there? Don't come any
There is no need for alarm.
We are the Inquisition, and this is the Herald of Andraste.
The Herald of Andraste! Maker's breath! Forgive me, I should have known.
Thank the Maker.
Commander Jihan, in service of Her Imperial Majesty. Long may she reign. My men inform me that the Citadel's defenses are deactivated. I cannot thank you enough.
The civil war is over. Gaspard de Chalon has been defeated. Celine's throne is safe.
It's over? That grasping brute is gone? Thank the Maker. So much has happened and we didn't even know. Have we been out of contact for so long?
Tell me about the situation here.
There were orders. A chance for peace, they said. Pull back, they said. So we did. Then the undead appeared. We couldn't hold them back. I told my men to activate the fort's defenses. A foolish move, born of desperation. There was so much about the old elven magic we never knew. We couldn't control it. We retreated, but not everyone made it through the gates. I couldn't save them. We've been trapped for weeks. Supplies were incoming, but who knows what happened to them.
I must take my leave.
Good day, Inquisitor.
Inquisitor!
Solas needs help!
I am surprised you accept fighting at a woman's side, Bull. I understood Kunari women did not fight.
If a Kunari woman really wants to fight and has a gift for it, she becomes an Akuna Thlak. The Akuna Thlak points for warriors and is treated like a male. He becomes a guy, for all intents and purposes.
But she wouldn't physically become male, surely.
Doesn't matter. In the queue, your role is everything.
And do you think of me as male, then?
Depends. In or out of your armor.
Help yourself to a suck from the basket. But only one!
Is that all for today? Helps.
Proper mage tower. Every castle needs one. Planning troop movements now?
I'm trying to imagine what it will look like when we're done. All of this once belonged to the Tevinter Imperium. Andraste changed that, as did the Blights. As for what will come next, I cannot guess the Maker's plan.
You don't have any ideas of your own?
I know I want a world where people trust the Chantry and that trust is respected. I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. I want to right past wrongs, but not avenge them. And I have no idea if my wanting these things makes any of them right.
Even if they're not right, they're certainly admirable.
Some would disagree. They would call it heresy.
That didn't sound like the ravings of a heretic, Cassandra.
Perhaps not. But it takes precious little effort to paint even an act of compassion as damaging. Tell me, what guides you? You make decisions that shake the world, yet always seem so assured. I wish I had your confidence.
If I'm guided by anything...
Oh, excellent. The blind leading the blind.
I don't think you're blind.
I don't want to be your prophet.
What do you want?
Not now, sister.
I know what you need to do.
The war in Olay has claimed too many lives. I pray that it's over for good.
Let's talk about the Grey Wardens.
Ah, the Wardens. I'm afraid we're less exciting than we...
You haven't had contact with other Wardens.
It's what I've always done. Besides, I've always been a loner.
How do the Wardens...
Short answer? Stick it with swords until it stops moving.
I'll trust that you know what...
We'll manage, if it comes to that.
Have you been hearing...
I know what Corypheus is. He has no sway over me.
Let's continue this at another time. Our mounts have never had better. Perhaps Master Dennett will join us now. A space like this needs an expert.
Out of the way, your worship, please.
I've got a minute if you need something.
What are your thoughts?
If there's anybody out there who has... Did you want to take over for Eldon? I think we...
Good afternoon.
I'd like to hear more about what...
I would be happy to share it with you.
Tell me about the old ruins you explored.
I found in the Kokari Wilds a humble cottage far removed from... The trees and weeds had not reclaimed the home, nor did the chase. It was empty, long abandoned. But the world feared that you might return.
Tell me about a spirit you encountered.
I found an ancient spirit who had once been undisputed king of almost every land I had discovered. Like pride or rage, it was the fade's reflection of a feeling. When I asked which one it was, the spirit faltered. "They've forgotten," said the spirit. there remains no word.
Tell me about the old memory.
I saw a young Qunari working in a simple kitchen, baking bread as she would. In every loaf, she broke the rules. She'd take a pinch of sugar and fold it, and this act of small rebellion brought a shining smile across her face.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
It was interesting to see how much has changed in Halam Shiral. And so little. Madame Méprise is a fixture. The sun will grow cold before she retires. At your service. At your service.
To work?
With an Illuvion, Corypheus could cross into the Fade in the flesh.
Indeed. The Inquisitor can attest that these artifacts still work if one knows how to use them.
What happens when Corypheus enters the Fade?
Why, he will gain his heart's desire and take the power of a god. Or, and this is more likely, the lunatic will unleash forces that tear the world apart.
Reasons for stopping Corypheus have gone from revenge to keep the world intact.
'Twas always so, was it not? The madman would bury us all.
Pardon me, but does this mean everything's lost unless we get to the Illuvion before him?
Corypheus has a head start, no matter how quickly our army moves.
We should gather our allies before we march.
Can we wait for them? We should send our spies ahead to the Arbor Wilds.
Without support from the soldiers, you'd lose half of them.
Then what should we do?
For starters, we don't let Corypheus worry us to death. Imagine how embarrassing that would be. Josephine, have our allies send scouts to meet us in the wilds. Liliana, your fastest agents will join them. Together, we'll have enough spies to slow down Corypheus' army until Cullen's soldiers arrive.
Such confidence. But the Arbor Wilds are not so kind to visitors. Old elven magic lingers in those woods.
We'd be remiss to not take advantage of your knowledge, Lady Morrigan. Please, lend us your expertise.
'Tis why I came here, although it is good to see its value recognized.
Any further instructions, Inquisitor?
We've embarked on a quest that ends in facing the most powerful monster in all Thedas. Do get a good night's sleep.
As you wish.
We'll hound Corypheus in the wilds before he can find the temple or this Illuvion.
Inquisitor.
How goes the battle, Captain?
The Red Templars fall beneath our blades, your worship. Commander Cullen says they're nearly finished. Our scouts saw Corypheus traveling towards an elven ruin to the north. We can clear you a path through his armies.
Do only what you must. We need enough people for a celebration when we get back to Skyhold.
We will not fail you, my lord, no matter what comes. Andraste guide you, Inquisitor.
I wonder, is it Andraste your soldiers invoke during battle, or does a more immediate name come to their lips?
Another way to let people down if I falter. Thank you for the reminder.
'Twas not I who raised an army of faithful to storm this land, Inquisitor. But I digress. If your scouts report accurately, I believe these ruins to be the Temple of Mythal.
Which is?
A place of worship out of elven legend. If Corypheus seeks it, then the Illuvian... Let us hope we reach this temple before the...
Now that's a view. Get your blood going.
Listen to how close the fighting's gotten. It will be worse ahead.
If the soldiers aren't careful with their fires, they'll do Corypheus' work for him.
Do you sense the magic crackling? Something more powerful than the Red Templars stirs.
They must be the last of those enslaved at Adamant.
If they are forced to obey him, death will be a blessing.
There, ahead. An entire camp of Red Templars.
Watch out. They've posted archers on the wall.
Fight like a hurricane!
Were we just attacked by elves? It seems this temple of Metal is not deserted after all.
Perhaps these creatures are the reason few return from the Arbor Wilds.
There. That must be the Temple of Mythal. Be ready. Corypheus will be there.
I hear fighting ahead.
Namelana Sabanalet.
The wretch mocks you, Master.
These are but remnants. They will not keep us from the Well of Sorrows.
Well of Sorrows?
Be honored. Witness death at the hands of a new god.
Cannot be!
Across the bridge! Now!
At last, Mythal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
You said Corypheus wanted an Eluvian, but he mentioned a Well of Sorrows. Which is right?
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
You're not certain? You said you knew what he was looking for.
Confidence can carry one only so far, it seems.
I suspected. I did not know. Yes, I was wrong. Does that please you? Whatever the Well of Sorrows might be, Corypheus seeks it and...
Let's find this well before Corypheus's people do. I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die.
And his life force passes on to any blighted creature, Darkspawn, or Grey Warden.
And Corypheus cannot die. Destroy his body and he will assume another.
We'll find a way to stop him once we're done here.
'Tis strange. Archdemons possess the same ability, and still the Grey Wardens are able to slay them. Yet Corypheus they locked away. Perhaps they knew he could do this, but not how. I see the Venatori have already encountered the temple's guardians.
A just death for these mages. But where are the killers?
Preparing another display of hospitality, no doubt. Why would this be here?
Something wrong?
It depicts the dread wolf, Fen-Harel. In elven tales, he tricks their gods into sealing themselves away in the beyond for all time. Setting Fen-Harel in Mythal's greatest sanctum is as blasphemous as painting Andraste naked in the chantry.
Some chantries display statues of Andraste's betrayer Mafarath as part of the chant.
It might fulfill a similar function, a reminder of vigilance for the faithful.
For all your knowledge, Lady Morrigan, you cannot resist giving legend the weight of history. The wise do not mistake one for the other.
Pray tell, what meaning does our elven expert sense lurking behind this?
None we can discern by staring at it.
We can send for historians once peace is brought to this forest.
The inhabitants of this temple may not appreciate guests.
It's sealed.
Corypheus's lackeys managed to open it. Perhaps the altar holds a clue. Yes?
Are you certain Corypheus is using the power of the Blight to make himself immortal?
Perhaps you forget. I was in Ferelden during the Fifth Blight. I have seen a true archdemon rage. How Corypheus gained the power to send his soul into blighted bodies, that is the real question.
Will answering that question let us destroy Corypheus?
Perhaps. I would suggest first dealing with the well, if Corypheus...
You said this Mythal was...
So one assumes. What is a god but a being of him? The dread old gods were nothing more than dragons, after all. They run. Perhaps Mythal was a powerful elf, a ruler among her kind.
You admit lack of knowledge, and yet dismiss her so readily?
I do not dismiss her. I question her supposed divinity. One need not be a god to have value. Truthfully, I'm uncertain Mythal was even a single entity. The accounts are varied.
There are varied accounts of Mythal.
In most stories, Mythal rights wrongs while exercising motherly kindness. Let fly your voice to Mythal, deliverer of justice, protector of... Other, paint her as dark, vengeful, prey to Mythal.
More Dalish tales, I assume.
If you know more about this, Solus, speak.
The oldest accounts say Mythal was both of these, and neither. She was the mother, protective and fierce. That is all I will say. This is not a place to stir up old stories.
Whatever the truth, all accounts of Mythal end the same. Exiled to the beyond with her.
What do you mean, exile?
Tricked by the dread wolf, as all the elven gods were said to be, trapped in a land beyond the Fade. Many Dalish believe this is why the elves... Or perhaps they were simply rulers slain by Tevinter. Who can say?
Let's this Elven?
Atishol vir Abalasan. It means enter the path of the Well of Sorrows.
There is something about knowledge. Respectful. 'Tis all I can translate. That it mentions the well,
At least we know the Well of Sorrows was important.
Supplicants to Mathal would have first paid obeisance here. Following...
Perform a ritual to appease elven gods? Long dead or no, I don't like it.
If need be, unless you wish to turn back.
Don't let them pass!
Come on, we might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination.
You forget that army fighting for us out there? Longer we play around, the more Inquisition soldiers die.
In this case, I must agree with the witch. This is ancient ground, deserving of our respect.
You see the urgency? We cannot find the Well of Sorrows unprepared.
We don't know what's behind those doors.
Had they the option, they would have proceeded.
Their goal?
There is a danger to the natural order. Legends walked Thedas once. Things of might and wonder. Corypheus would squander the ancient power of the well. I would have it restored.
I wasn't expecting your answer to be so...
Trust me. Mankind blunders through the world, crushing what it does not understand. We must stem the tide, or be left with nothing more. I read more in the first chamber. It said a great boon is given to those who use the Well of Sorrows, but at a terrible...
What exactly did that altar say about the well?
Like most elven writing, it was in... The term I deciphered was Halam Shivanas. It implies the loss of something personal for duty's sake, yet for those who served at this temple, a worthwhile trade.
Did you not trust me enough to tell me about this
I hoped to find more information. If I intended to cheat you, I would have... My priority is your cause, but if the opportunity...
And gain what?
That is what we must discover. Will you abandon these rituals, Inquisitor? Think carefully. There is no return once we follow the Venatori. Indeed. Time to proceed to the next ritual, I should think.
The ritual is complete.
We are close. There is but one more path to follow. Come, let us see if the doors have opened. Tis not what I expected. What was this chamber used for?
We're being watched.
Venavis, you are unlike the other invaders. You stumble down our paths at the side of one of our own. You bear the mark of magic, which is familiar. How has this come to pass? What is your connection to those who first disturbed our slumber?
I don't understand the slumber bit. Who are you?
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground. We wake only to fight, to preserve this place. Our numbers diminish with each invasion. I know what you seek. Like all who have come before you, you wish to drink from the Virabella-san.
The place of the Way of Sorrows. He speaks of the well.
It is not for you. It is not for any of you.
What is this Virabella-san exactly?
It is a path. One walked only by those who toiled in Mithal's favor.
He speaks of priests, perhaps.
More than that, you need not know.
So you're elves from ancient times? Before the Tevinter Imperium destroyed Arlathan?
The Shemlen did not destroy Arlathan. We Elven warred upon ourselves. By the time the doors to this sanctuary closed, our time was over. We awaken only when called, and each time find the world more foreign than before. It is meaningless. We endure. The Virabella-san must be preserved.
Solus, perhaps he'll listen to you.
What shall I say, Inquisitor? Shall I sway him from a millennia of service by virtue of our shared blood? He clings to all that remains of his world, because he lacks the power to restore it.
We did not come here to fight you, nor to steal from your temple.
I believe you. Trespassers you are, but you have followed rites of petition. You have shown respect to Mythal. If these others are enemies of yours, we will aid you in destroying them. When this is done, you shall be permitted to depart. And never return.
This is our goal, is it not? There is no reason to fight these sentinels.
Consider carefully. You must stop Corypheus, yes, but you may also need the well for your own.
I accept your offer.
You will be guided to those you seek. As for the Via Bellasan, it shall not be despoiled, even if I must destroy it myself.
No!
This would be our guide.
Mytholanast.
That's helpful, since Morrigan chased off on her own.
She seeks to protect the Well of Sorrows.
This place looks untouched.
You have any idea how much this place is worth?
We did not come to cut off the last of elven glory.
I'm just saying.
Penshra! Gilas Velathan!
I believe she would prefer that we remain close.
Just a quick look around.
Vir Sumiel.
Well of Sorrows.
So Mithal endures.
Andraste, guide us.
Let's...
So close. And those who would despoil it. The trials you set me, I have overcome. As a courtesy, leave now. Or not at all.
Your lust for power has blinded you, Calpurnia. Corypheus is using you.
Think on your own folly before you serve your people. You have one last chance. The Well of Sorrows overflows with knowledge to walk the Fade without the anchor. That is what the Well of Sorrows will give Corypheus.
If that's the case, why isn't Corypheus clawing at the well?
I will carry it like a jug brimming for his use. Can you not see? I knew you would take the well for yourself, to ransack its wisdom to try to defeat Corypheus. But you'd still be just a child, playing with a sword. Corypheus will wield it as a master.
You're not getting the well while one of us still...
Come then, one last sacrifice!
If I fall, it will not be by your hand.
You heard his parting words, Inquisitor. The elf seeks to destroy the Well of Sorrows.
So the Sanctum is despoiled at last.
You would have destroyed the well yourself, given the chance.
To keep it from your grasping fingers. Better it be lost than bestowed upon...
Fool. You'd let your people's legacy rot in the shadows.
Corypheus needed Calpurnia to use the well. Without her, there's no vest...
The moment we leave, he will send more forces to secure this place. The well clearly offers power, Inquisitor.
Do you even know what you ask? As each servant of Mythal reached the end of their years, they would pass their knowledge. All that we were, all that we knew, it would be lost forever.
It's better that knowledge remain in the well, never passed on. You'd rather destroy it.
There are other places, friend, other duties. Your people yet linger.
Elven such as you?
Yes, such as I.
You have shown respect to Mythal, and there is a righteousness in you I cannot deny. Is that your desire? To partake of the Vira Belasan as best you can? To fight your enemy?
Gifts like this don't come freely.
No boon of Mythal was... The Vira Belasan may be too much for a mortal to comprehend. Brave it if you must. But know you this.
Bound to a goddess who no longer exists.
Bound as we are bound. The choice is yours.
Is it possible this Mythal might still exist?
Anything is possible.
Elven legend states that Mythal was tricked by Fen'Harel.
Elven legend is wrong. The Dread Wolf had nothing to do with her murder.
Murder? I said nothing of...
She was slain, if a god truly can be. Betrayed by those who destroyed this temple. Yet the Vira Belasan remains. As do we. That is something.
Are you leaving the...
Our duty ends.
There is a place for you, Lethaline, if you seek it.
Perhaps there are places the Shemlin have not. It may be that only Uthenera awaits us, if fate is kind.
Thank you for this gift, Abelas.
Do not thank me yet, Shemlin.
Malas Amalin Nahalam Abelas. His name, Abelas, means sorrow. I said, I hoped he finds a new name.
You'll note the intact Illuvian. I was correct on that count, at least.
Is it still a threat? Can Corypheus use it to...
You recall when I took you through my Illuvian, I said each required a key? The well is the key. Take its power, and Mythal's last Illuvian will be... I did not expect the well to feel so... hungry.
Seems like that should be a concern.
Knowledge begets a hunger for more. I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the...
Or more likely to your own ends?
What would you know of my ends, elf?
You are a glutton drooling at the sight of a feast. You cannot be trusted.
Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
You alone?
I have studied the oldest lore. I have delved into mysteries of which... Can you honestly tell me there is anyone better suited?
What about you, Solus?
No. Do not ask me again.
Perhaps you're right.
I am. You know I am.
You're not concerned about the price.
Bound to the will of a dead god? Perhaps a compulsion yet remains. Who can say otherwise? I do not fear it, even so.
Are you sure you want this, Morrigan?
We do not, and yet it must be done. I am ready.
Thoughts?
She is right about only one thing. We should take the power which lies in that well.
If it is truly between you and her, then let her...
Any chance this well could help us against Corypheus? I say you take it.
Enough deliberation. Give me your decision.
It's yours. Morrigan? Are you all right?
Elasin Salah. Visan... Visanala. I am intact. There is much to sift through. But now we can...
Through the mirror.
It is done.
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't...
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength.
He will not hide.
You sound pretty certain when you say that.
The Well of Sorrows held many voices, and they speak. They hold wisdom. Secrets I never dreamed possible. But even they fear what Corypheus has become.
But he's not a god yet, is he?
Not yet. He is both powerful and immortal. But he has a weakness. The dragon he calls is not truly an archdemon. It is a dragon in which Corypheus has invested part of his being. He doubtless did so out of pride to emulate the gods of old. That pride. Kill the dragon, and his ability to leap into other bodies is disrupted. He can be slain.
Just kill his dragon? Why didn't we think of that before?
There is a way to defeat the dragon, to match Corypheus in his power. The well whispers it to me now. Your help will be required, Inquisitor. Speak to me when you are ready, and we shall...
I'll see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime. We'll be spread thin until the rest of our forces return from the Arbor Wilds.
Of course.
Inquisitor.
It comes swiftly, this moment. The day the Herald of Andraste challenged the Darkspawn, that defeat him and you'll be more than a holy man to the people. You'll enter legend.
Now that sounds more dangerous than any...
And there is the wits that reassure. People joined the Inquisition after hearing you were blessed, but they've stayed. I wanted to tell you that I shared their sentiments, Inquisitor, and... well, I suppose I just did.
I hope you're not going anywhere after...
Far from it. Oh, if you'll have me, there's so much more the Inquisition can do.
The Temple of Mythal was extraordinary. In all my journeys, I never dreamed of finding anything like it. What will you do with the power of the well once Corypheus is dead?
I'm not arrogant enough to think it's my decision alone.
You think to share your power, to avoid the temptation to misuse it.
Why?
Because while one selfless man may walk away from the lure of power's corruption, no group has ever done so.
There's a first time for everything.
Perhaps, but it will not be this time.
Why is this so important?
You have not been what I expected, Inquisitor. You have impressed me. You must not let false modesty allow you to pass your power to someone else. There are few regrets sharper than watching fools squander what you sacrifice to achieve. Forgive my melancholy. Corypheus has cost us much. The orb he carries, and its stolen power. That, at least, we may still recover. With luck, some of the past may yet survive.
Thank you, Solus. He couldn't have done this without you.
You are welcome. My friend.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
You have waylaid all his other plans. Now, as a petulant child, he ready for anything. He still believes himself a god, and gods do not fall gracefully.
We'll talk later.
Though all before me is shadow, yet shall the Maker be my guide. For there is no darkness in the Maker's light.
A prayer for you?
For those we have lost, and those I am afraid to lose.
I'm glad you haven't lost...
I've questioned it at times, but I've found comfort. Corypheus will retaliate. It's only a matter of time. We must draw strength wherever we can.
Unless he gets bored and surrenders. Any chance?
I doubt it.
Worship?
So, we went to an elven ruin, saw a witch, and wound up back here. I don't want to think about this anymore. You want to discuss something normal? You want to talk about...
What happened at the Elven Temple? It's got me thinking. I should go back, shouldn't I? To Tavin. All my talk of how terribly wrong things are back home. But what do I do about it? Nothing.
You're not doing nothing, Dorian. You came here. You're fighting with us.
Thank you for saying that. I want to do more than stop Corypheus, however. I want to say... It might surprise you to know that you're the one who You're shaping the world, for good or ill. If it means proving that Tevinter can be better, that there's...
I don't know what you think you're doing.
I'm being clucked at by a hen, evidently.
Don't play the fool with me, young man.
If I wanted to play the fool, I could be rather more convincing, I assure you.
Your glib tongue does you no credit.
You'd be surprised at the credit my tongue gets me, Your Reverence.
Oh,
What's going on here?
It seems the revered mother...
It is just concern. Your worship, you must...
You might need to spell it out.
This man is of Tevinter. His presence at your side, the rumors alone...
Oh? I'd like to hear what these rumors... Repeat them. So you've shared them before.
See, I meant no disrespect, Inquisitor. If you feel he is without ulterior motive, then I humbly beg forgiveness of you both.
Well, that's something.
This sort of thing happens...
More than anyone tells you. No one knows their own...
Until someone helpfully informs.
There is that. She meant well. I should ask, do the rumors bother you?
Why should it bother me? Everyone's talking about the Inquisition.
That's good. I'd hate to think I... Perhaps it's odd to say, but I have precious few friends. Don't speak. I detest Allow me to say I'll stand beside you. Against Corypheus, my...
So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor. I never thought the idea would gain momentum. Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture...
Is becoming divine.
When Justinia was alive, things have changed. Restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
No one would fault you for abandoning ship, you know.
Out of the ship? You think Thedas hates mages now? Look at all that's happened. Kirkwall's Chantry, the war, the breach. Without the Chantry to guide, that hatred will spiral out of control.
Wow. You really don't think highly of
The people care only for simple things. They will continue to live like this, but this is a discussion for later. If A message from Divine Justinia.
Dead people usually don't send messages.
And I see you feel it necessary to inform me of this. This message was written months, perhaps even years ago, to be delivered to me if she died. I've heard of such contingency plans. A sudden death often leaves loose ends. I'm to go to Valence, a small village on the waking sea. There is something hidden there.
Do you know what you're looking for?
The Divine was a powerful woman who used her position to obtain all sorts of things. Whatever she hid in Valence would very likely benefit the Inquisition. If I'm lucky, she will have instructions for me.
Why hide things in Valence?
Justinia was revered mother. It is a place that holds great meaning for her.
Is this you asking permission to leave?
Well, yes. I can't imagine I'll be away from my post for very long. And I was hoping you would agree to come with me. One more thing. If what is hidden in Val... I shall meet you at the Chant...
Far be it from... It's been quite the momentous day, has... We should probably give some thought to the very likely possibility that Morrigan will use her new power against us.
I don't think it's likely. I think it's a certainty.
We will need to prepare ourselves, if we can. Circle records have limited information on shapeshifting. There are mentions of counterspells that may prevent mages from transforming or from reverting. I have my people researching these spells now. The pieces are nearly in place. You've done well. I will be proud to fight alongside you when the time comes.
Victory in the Arbor Wilds. The Archdemon might have been a real threat to our army. It is still out there, however. I wonder what Corypheus plans now.
He'll hide. What other choice to...
Do not underestimate Corypheus. He is powerful, but he will come. You will get your chance.
We'll face Corypheus to...
There is not another man I would... Not long ago, you, the man I love, Vic, the time has come to consider what will come next.
You'll be the next Divine, I assume.
If so, then what of us?
We can still be together.
Can we? I'm not so certain. You haven't lost me.
At your service.
How much do you know about...
Not much. I didn't expect them to be true, and I certainly didn't expect to find one of them still alive.
Don't the Grey Wardens know everything?
You don't have to know how a dark... And the world would be better off if people focused on defeating evil rather...
Corypheus stopped being human.
No. I suppose they don't. It's been thousands. You'd think the Wardens would have managed to kill the first Darkspawn by now.
Do you know if there are more Darks?
I don't know. I'm not sure any Warden.
Let's discuss something else. Finally, a place for... the horses. I forgot about the Ferelden horses.
Your worship. Will you be coming to the readings? After what happened, I just assumed.
So to kill Corypheus, all we have to do is kill his dragon first? Just one more big fight to put this Magister asshole down for good. I knew you'd get us here, boss.
It's been an honor, Bull.
We're kicking this guy's ass.
Here's the news.
Of course.
That child.
You looked into his eyes.
It's just what I heard.
I'm sorry. Oh wait, no, I'm not. It's just the funniest, isn't it? That creaky old Abelas in Mythal saying the elves weren't destroyed by Tevinter.
An admission that did not come easy.
Of course it didn't. Because that's elfy elves thing. Being the sore losers of history. Like being sad makes them better than me. Turns out they're not victims. They're the same as everyone else. Arseholes. Plus, a big old temple full of demon-worshipping lies. Grand, that.
So your main takeaway is that elves worship demons?
Well, they never call them that, yeah? I mean, it was impressive and all. Makes the Dalish look like tits for living in... There can't be a bunch of gods, and the Maker. Don't matter how much or little you believe, those don't fit. So call me stupid, but I believe the stuff not made up by... I mean, it just makes sense, right?
There's so much history there.
No, now you're stupid. You can't think that because it's stupid.
But everything we saw...
You're not even an elf. Why are you being so damned elfy? You're the frigging herald of Andraste. Every time you open your mouth, you'll sound like an idiot.
People need to understand what this could mean.
No, they don't. 1,000 miles away. They won't care what you mutter to yourself. And neither do I. Worship?
So I'm thinking...
Almost gotcha.